Came up out the concrete, dust on my sneakers. Dark nights, cold streets, talking to the dreamers. Whispers in the alley say the world don't need us. But I saw a throne in the smoke like Jesus. Heart of a soldier, hands of a builder. Mind like a king, but the pain got realer. Cameras show the wars that the world won't witness. Shatter empire, I was born in the trenches. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. Crawled out the fire, but the flames still touch you. From the mud, from the bottom, yeah, I came from the struggle. Now I'm standing on the mountain, watching how the world hustle. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. Bloodlines built empires, legends and ghosts. Families torn apart for who wanted it most. We was chasing silver, chasing gold, chasing hope. Trying to pay for a future on a promise note. Seen kings fall quick when the hunger got louder. Seen angels turn stone when the city got prouder. Shadow empire, I survived that thunder. Bag in my hand, but I'm thinking about wonder. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. Crawled out the fire, but the flames still touch you. From the mud, from the bottom, yeah, I came from the struggle. Now I'm standing on the mountain, watching how the world hustle. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. For the money, but the money don't love you. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. For the money, but the money don't love you. We ain't never had nothing, so we learn how to take. Turn hunger to diamonds, turn pressure to faith. If the gold ever fades, remember the pain, remember the rain, remember the name.
Yeah, love for the money, but the money don't love you. It's all about the passion. It's all about the passion. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Back in the building. Monday edition. You know, I do this every Monday. And that was that song, Love for the Money. Coming on the soundtrack. It's coming soon, man. I got some bangers coming. Welcome to GPTV1. What up, though? What up, though? Tonight, we're watching the culture change in real time. Nicki Minaj stepping into politics and shaking the room. 21 Savage telling the world, forget the streets or fuck the streets. And Young Thug quietly reminding everyone that words can still put you back behind bars. That seems to be a big worry for him. And who want to go behind bars? Let's just keep it 1,000 on that. Keep it 1,000. He don't want to go back behind bars. This ain't just rap news. This is power, survival, and evolution. Hip-hop was born from the streets, but now the streets come with indictments, surveillance, and consequences. So the real question is this: are these artists selling out, or are they growing up in a world that doesn't forgive mistakes? Because what you say, what you tweet, what you align with can change your freedom, your fan base, and your future. And that's one of the things about these stories we talk about on these podcasts and these live streams, and these rappers and entertainers, they get famous for like the wrong reasons. And it happens far too often. Far too often. That's a fact. We tell these stories all day. So the real question is, are these artists selling out? Welcome to GPTV1 Uncut, where we don't just report the culture, we break it down. Before we dive deeper into tonight's conversation, I want to set the tone. What you're about to see isn't entertainment, it's context. This trailer lays out the stakes behind the headlines. Let's roll it.
We know how they move. You stop one route, 10 more open.
Coming at y'all very, very soon. Be looking for that. This will include soundtrack. Shadow Empire documentary coming at y'all soon. If that trailer hits you the way it should have, tap in with me real quick. This platform runs on independent support, not corporate backing. If you're rocking with the conversation tonight, drop a super chat. Hit the Cash App or Chime. Every dollar helps keep GPTV1 Uncut raw, honest, and uninterrupted. Sometimes I can't get my words out like that. This is community-funded media, and I appreciate every single supporter. And listen, if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button. We're pushing the 9,000 subscribers, and every sub gets us closer to expanding the show, bigger guests, deeper investigations or explorations, and more unfiltered conversation. Don't just watch the culture, be a part of it. Yep, we're marching to 9,000 subs, folks. And we're getting there. I think I'm at like 8,300 or something like that. So I appreciate it if you hit that sub button. Hitting the like button helps the algorithm of this channel. And there's so much going on with GPTV1, so stay tuned for all of that. One of the trending topics was about Nicki Minaj and her political stance. And people probably divided on that and can't believe that she's having anything to do with politics. And she like 50 Cent. She like the queen of trolling. She been trolling forever. Nicki and her and 50 Cent from the same place. Let's not forget. Both of them from South Jamaica, Queens. I had the chance to visit Queens, South Jamaica, Queens on a couple of occasions. So I've been over there. It's crock out there. You know, they got their hoods and all of that. So both of them from the same place, and both with 50 Cent is the king of the trolling. Like 50 Cent can spark a conversation across podcast platforms. And people to this day just don't realize he feeds off into that. That's what he wants. That's what sells his brand. That's what sells his brand. Literally. So 50 Cent can get a conversation going. They go across all the platforms, all the major news outlets and all of that. And he just got a lot of business out there, you know. But Nicki Minaj come from that place too. She's the queen of the trolling. She pretty much do what 50 Cent do, take stabs at folks. It's mostly again to other rapper females or whatever, you know. She done got a little older in the game now, you know, they moving up there and all that type stuff. So you're not always gonna be on the top of the game. But you still can be relevant, do concerts and, you know, put out records and all that type stuff, but that's just how the game is. Somebody else gonna come and be on top of the charts. They're gonna get all the airplay, the radio play, and all that stuff, and tours and concerts and all that stuff. It has its place, and sometimes it die down, but that don't mean you're not relevant. So I think Nicki Minaj is a very relevant person. She has a loyal fan base, and to a lot of females, she is their favorite rapper. She inspires them. I don't know about the other females that's out there right now, but it's people that came before her. So I think look at somebody like Lil' Kim was influential to Nicki Minaj. But she not known to be a political advocate. And then this is another way of saying, hey, I'm not just a rapper. I am a human being, and I do have a brain, and I do have choices. And people widely known that Black people are staunch Democrats for the most part, but all Black people are not Democrats. Some of them are Republicans. And I pride myself on saying this is not a political channel. And I get a lot of political comments, and me as Rylan K, that's what a lot had to do with Shadow Empire. Because I could be doing a story, then somebody come with some political comment, And whenever I put up political content or cover that, I get a lot of views off of that. But what I do is not really trending type stuff. It like grows over time, It's like documenting stuff, research. People be looking for this stuff, and then they'll go to my channel and find it. That's pretty much what it do. But then you have other people, they go after the trends. The trends die down, in my opinion. So, I like to make stuff that grow over time, timeless. In other words, that'd be a good way to put it. But Nicki Minaj definitely has a fan base, Bobs or whatever she called them. And this is a way where she can say, hey, I have a brain. I can think. I got choices. I'm not endorsing this particular politician. And the politicians, they typically, especially during voting time, they typically would go get celebrities to speak on their behalf. They have all these rallies and people be making donations and all of that. So sometimes the artists may not even be a part of that party, but they do that as a favor to this person that may be in power. So if they helping you out in some type of way, they're going to come back at you and ask you to help them. Give y'all a good example of what I'm talking about. This is a guy that owned a radio station. And he had some businesses going on. He's a well-established person and been established for years. And those artists, music he was playing on his station, he got those artists to come to his station to speak on his political party. And I highly doubt, and there was a lot of them too, because they were playing a lot of the local music. So they had the local artists come in there and get these political statements over the airway. They were just running them like commercials. And I just found it hard to believe that some of them artists was with that party. But since the guy was playing their music on the radio, they had to go in there and do it. But so a lot of them go to the artists and get them to endorse their party. Get some of my talking points here. So Nicki Minaj made a surprise appearance at Turning Point USA's America Fest in Arizona and spoke directly about politics, marking one of her most explicit engagements with partisan politics yet. On stage, she praised President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, calling them role models, emphasizing their relatability, a significant pivot from earlier skepticism about Trump. One of the things I would say about Trump is his family will be well set up when he get out of that office. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Maybe somebody need to copy that. She mocked California Governor Gavin Newsom with the Trump-style nickname New Scum and spoke about her concerns with cultural and political issues. Minaj also shared that part of her shift is tied to a religious reawakening and faith focus, describing it as a return to values and free expression. Free expression. A viral gaffe occurred when Minaj accidentally called VP Vance an assassin on stage, an awkward moment given the context. Erica Kirk's husband, Charlie Kirk, was killed in an assassination. Erica Kirk quickly comforted her. Clips of this moment exploded online, with some comparing it to an SNL skit. The move has divided fans and the public, especially with her LGBTQ fan base, as many are surprised or upset by her alignment with conservative politics. You know, she's a multi-millionaire, you know. And they be looking at that type of stuff because they get a lot of tax breaks. Like Republicans, they know they're not going to get that from Democrats. Celebrity commentator Perez Hilton accused her of being financially motivated for her TPUSA praise. Yeah, they're going to create some controversy out of that. Celebrity political engagement. Is Nicki Minaj using her platform responsibly, or is this a PR financial play? Yeah, it could be a little bit of that, but why not? Why not? Why not spread your brand? And that's a good way to do it through politics. Fan base fracture. How might this affect her cultural brand? This controversy over celebrities choosing overt political sides. That's a good question. How might this affect her cultural brand? Y'all can hit me up in the chat or leave a comment. I want to go to that video when she's talking to this woman right here. So her husband was the guy that got assassinated. That was very controversial. It was a major news story. It was a major news story when that happened. So, and she came out with some speeches and things of that nature, speaking about this, about her husband. But they starched Republicans, and they got a lot of support from the president. But let's go to the Nicki Minaj and let's see what they're actually talking about. I saw a little bit of it, so we're going to watch this together, family. Let me pull it up for you. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj. Erica Kirk. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is like from one day ago. Yeah. So I'm gonna share my screen right here, family, and see what Nicki Minaj is talking about. I'm gonna watch this together. Like I said, I saw a little bit of it. I sort of wanted to save it to watch it with you all. I am Rylan K. Thank you for joining me. Share my screen, family. All right. See what she's talking about. Hold on, let me stop that music. Let me slide past that music right there. I don't want to get no copyright thing going on.
I'm honored to be here. I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Honored to be there.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, happy.
Love you guys. So we're just going to dive right into this. You had some fun words.
All right, I'm back in the building, family. I had to restart my computer, and things happen when you're dealing with this technology. But let me get my video back up here and get back to Nicki Minaj. Let me share my screen, family.
How to convert a big 4K video file
Put
into a
on
more
past this
manageable
commercial.
1080p one, and as a
Having me.
School past that music. I don't want to get copywritten on that.
Love you guys. So we're just going to dive right into this. You had some fun words for Governor Newsom. I have to read these tweets because they're amazing and they are so funny. Okay, first one, we'll do this one. Unless you want to read it in your own voice. I think it'd be really great.
No problem. Okay. No problem.
Oh, Gavi Poo, it only gets worse from here for you, buddy. It's the end of the road for you, my love. Get on the nearest jet ski and let that beautiful hair blow in the wind. It'll make you happier than this race that you will not win. Enjoy life. Peace.
That is a political. Now that's a political statement. But she got the right to do that.
Okay.
Politics is a blood sport for real. They go for the juggler on that.
One more.
Like the WWE.
One more.
Why not? Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha, not even a trans adult would run on that.
She's an
Normal
actor
adults
for
wake
real.
up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Not Gav, the Gav nots. Gav not in, Gav out. Send in the next guy, I'm bored.
She's an actor for sure.
So I'm just gonna let you riff. Like, I want you to say whatever you want to say to Mr. Newsom.
Dear Newscum.
Newscum.
We don't have a problem cleaning up the scum if we have to.
Nicki must live in California or something. Why is she talking about the California girl? I mean, the California governor. She must live out there now.
Please tread lightly. That's what I
Why
would
would she
say
be concerned about the California's governor?
So with regard to the current administration, what has been maybe the biggest surprise for you, or something that you just really has been put on your heart that you've learned about our president and our vice president?
Well, I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president.
Wow. Wow. That's a political statement.
He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact.
Yeah, I mean, the Shadow Empire documentary got a lot to do with that. And I've been saying that on other episodes and live streams. Like, if you into crime and all that, Trump just don't like you. You know, he don't like all that post stuff, ghetto stuff, hood stuff, gangster stuff. He don't like none of that. He want to do away with all that. And he was doing what, willing to do what it takes. If it takes you giving you the death penalty, he will give you the death penalty. If it takes you locking you under the jail, he will do it without a hesitation. So yeah, he coming after those crime folks. And even when the documentary come out, the question is going to be why, you know. And this is major news that's coming on news channels almost every day, and the podcast circuit is really not talking about it at all. But it's right there on major news channels every day. I get up and watch nationwide news every single morning. They talking about this stuff. How they coming after this crime, like literally. So, you know, it's letting the guys who on the streets, let them be aware of what's going on. They coming.
He's from Queens, New York, like me.
There you go, Queens.
So, but what it's shown me personally is sometimes, you know, even in the worst feeling times in your life, you think that you're never going to come back from it. But you do. And our president shows that. He's been through every single thing a person could be through publicly. Having to constantly be lied on. It's not really that funny. Until you are in that person's shoes that's being lied on, you'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And it's just not fair. But this administration is full of
Bankroll.
people with heart and soul.
Bankroll. Don't forget that part.
And they make me proud of them. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not. Don't you guys agree? They haven't lost touch of the world. You know, they're still connected to the world and what's happening in the world, with the younger people and older people, with the richer people and not so rich people. They have the ability to still connect and be real and make us feel proud to be American.
You know, these two political parties, they can be like gangs sometimes. You know, you got the blue side and the red side. We can agree to disagree, and I respect your political views, but I'm just not into the radical stuff. I'm sort of in the middle.
So why now have you been involved with speaking about politics? What was kind of the turning point for you?
There you go. That's what we want to know.
What was the turning point?
We want to know.
Well, I just got tired of being pushed around.
Yeah, because you bald.
Sometimes you just get tired of it, and then you realize, wait a minute, I have something inside of me that's stronger than what's out there. That's right. So when you've had enough, you realize, wait a minute, why do I even care about these people and what they think? Who are they? They don't even know who they are. So I'm not gonna back down anymore. I'm not gonna back down ever again.
Amen.
There you go, making a stance, Nicki Minaj. You're not backing down.
Can the students in the room raise your hand? Wow. This question is for you guys. So
I know she inside. I know it's wintertime and all of that, but I doubt she do any outside events.
you guys are
Still
very
got them radical
courageous
people out there.
and bold on your campus. Nikki, I know our students feel this way, but why do you think speaking your mind has become so controversial?
Because people no longer are using their minds, their brains.
Whoa. Y'all using y'all brains
So
out
right
there?
now, just imagine.
Hey, wait a minute.
We're not allowed
Let me stop right there. When I started this live stream tonight, that's exactly what I said. Nikki want to show people that she has a brain. When you listen to the replay, you will hear me saying that. And guess what she just said?
have a different opinion anymore. We're not allowed to think out loud anymore. We're not
We laugh out loud.
This is not what the world used to feel like. And especially for the young people, I don't want them growing up in a world where they feel like that. They deserve for their voices to be heard. They have valid feelings and they're thinking about things, and it deserves attention. We should listen to what they're saying.
All right.
And if you're growing up in a world that tells you it's taboo to say something that the masses don't agree with, that's not okay. And we're not gonna have it. And I love this. It's giving the younger people confidence that they will need later on in life. You guys will need it, and you will have it. So I'm rooting for you.
Amen. Amen.
All right. It's Nicki Minaj and her political stance. What do y'all think about that? What's y'all political stance? I respect it. I respect your political stance. I'm not a part of any gangs. I put my little votes in and all of that. I go vote, but I'm not overly political. I got my little opinions about all of this stuff. I can't say I'm tired of all the high crime and all that type of stuff. You ride around in the inner city, you can sort of be on pins and needles, even if you got a weapon on you. For protection, I got weapons, but it's strictly for protection. I got legal weapons, But I'm not overly political. And like I said, Nikki wanted to show people, hey, I'm a human being. I'm not just a rapper. Yeah, I do all of that. But it's a human side to me, and I do have a brain. Nikki can come off like she ain't got no sense at all, Like you would think she just dingy is all outdoors. And it's the same thing like that girl Kim Kardashian. I think Kim Kardashian is very smart. Like you listen to her talk, she's very intelligent. But her images she came across, people looked at her in some ways like a fine hot mess, like a beautiful hot mess. I guess that's the best way to say it, but what's y'all political views? What do you think is going on with this administration? And again, Trump, he coming after these criminals. He don't like crime. He white collar, He one of the white collar type guys, He don't like all that poverty and, he don't like begging and handouts and all that. So, and there's people out there that live for that and they look at you like you wrong. they feel like they should live a life of getting handouts. And they expect you to support that. And I believe in giving. Me, myself, I give out a lot. And I've been giving so many years of my life, you know. I done gave people my last. I done gave people the jacket off my back and all of that. So I do my part as far as giving. I go get the homeless food and all that type of stuff, warm, hot food. So I don't say I do that all the time. I ain't gonna say I ride up on everybody. I'm just tossing them money every time I see somebody that need it or whatever, you know. But it's real people out there that need stuff. So, you know, but I don't feel like my voice is being suppressed or nothing like that. So I always feel like I got a voice in this world, and I always feel like I bring something to the world. That's just my personal opinion, you know. I bring something to the world. I bring something to the table. So I never feel like my voice is being suppressed from any type of president or any type of politician. I don't feel like politicians shut me up or making me feel less human or nothing like that. But everybody entitled to their own opinions. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think no politician is suppressing me or keeping me quiet about anything, no matter who the president is. So I always feel like I got a voice out here. Does my voice create change? I wouldn't say that. Like, I can't change the world. And that's what's it's a big part of this channel. You know, we cover the true crime genre. So yes, I put a little something out there to stop somebody from gang banging, to stop some of our people from going to prison and throwing their life away. Yeah, I would do that all day long. So yeah. But that's her opinion on all of that. So salute to Nicki Minaj and showing the world that you got a brain. You stepping in the building, click the like button. Do me a solid. Help me get to 9,000 subscribers. We marching there. Haven't been loading videos. I get them. I got another one coming out tomorrow, which I got halfway done right now. I've been working hard on this documentary. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into that, costs money and all of that. So hit me on this super chat, hit me on the Chime, hit me on the Cash App. Your support means everything. So we're putting a lot of stuff in that. Then we're working on the soundtrack. The soundtrack is actually done. We're just trying to legalize everything, get all the paperwork straight, and make sure everything is legal. We definitely covering all the legal parts of it. We're sending stuff out for reviews and all of that. 21 Savage. This is another trending story where I think this is a very important point right here. Because even when I do my content on YouTube, I'm careful what I put up there. Like, I don't show guns and all that type of stuff in my content, because YouTube be striking you for all of that. You know, they'll let you get away with a little title or something like that, because a lot of the major news outlet use those type of titles, like saying the word murder in a title or something. They may not sweat that, you know, but you on there, you all in your videos, you got guns and all of that. You know, they're not going to pay you for all of that. You're not going to make no money. Yeah, you can get on there and have a popular video, and it can help your career out, the popularity of the video. You get millions of views and all of that, but you're not going to make a lot of money on YouTube, because the advertiser is not going to advertise that content. They slacking up on that. So is this the age of rappers coming off more positive and not so much negative energy, because these streaming platforms checking for all of that now? They checking for it, and they not gonna pay out advertising with that type of negativity. I know YouTube definitely does that, because all the videos, the couple of videos I do have, and showing guns and stuff, that type of stuff in the content, or showing too much drugs and stuff like that. Remember, this true crime genre, a lot of stuff be involved in those stories. So whenever I show a lot of drugs or so, I got one video I done. You got to be a member to actually watch that video. But right from the gate, YouTube will not let me publicly show the video. I could have took it down, but I left it up there and just left it for members. I had a couple of videos where it shows like mountains of drugs and stuff like that. And the advertiser, they didn't mess with it. A couple of videos where I'm showing like the storyline, they got guns and all of that. So I try to cut all that stuff out of the videos. Excuse me. So yeah, I started slacking up on showing weapons and drugs, and I don't show like because a lot of these cases, some of the crimes get caught on video, and these people get murdered and all that stuff, get unalived. That actual incident get caught on video, so I don't technically show it on my channel unless you're a member or something like that. So, but this is one of those trending stories that 21 Savage, like, forget the streets. And that's what a lot of people that we do. We know there's nothing in the streets. But what people are saying is the streets built your career. Because you rapped about the street, that's why people bought your music. That's the question that other rappers are saying. Like Lil Boosie, he say a lot of stuff that be controversial, be trending and all of that. And he's saying he would never say screw the streets, because Boosie knows that's his fan base. He knows that's what built his career. And it's not like he probably not saying like screw the streets, and he's just speaking in general, the negativity of the streets. So let me find something on here where it's actually talking about that. 21 Savage. I'm not knocking them, man. I'm not encouraging people to run the streets and all that. I say go start a business and tend to your family. That's what I say. So another guy said 21 Savage responds to the backlash after Boosie G checks his F the streets. First of all, man, I don't think Boosie is one of those type of guys you actually want to follow for inspiration on life, Boosie is notorious for talking shit online. And Boosie get paid for all of that. I think he had a case where he's supposed to be going to prison or something like that for a gun. But I'm not knocking him or nothing, but I wouldn't look at him like some inspiration on life, And at that age, his age in the game, I don't think he need to be rapping about street shit either. Like, you should be well moved on past the streets, and your audience grows up with you. So if you're 45 years old, 40-something years old, your audience is more than likely 40-something years old. They grew up with you. A lot of young people is not checking for Boosie and all of that. So let's just keep it 1,000 on that. His audience is his audience. They've been following him since he came out. And that's what audiences do. That's what your fan base do. So you may not have like somebody 19, 20, 21 years old checking for Lil Boosie. They not too familiar with his music. So they're just not knocking him or whatever. So your fan base is your fan base. But I never looked at him like he was this inspirational type of guy I need to be listening to. I would take it as novelty and entertainment. And if that's how he gets his money, more power to him. So that's how I look at it. Let me see what's going on here. Oh yeah, I'm looking for some 21 Savage. See how he respond to all of that. I don't see no videos actually talking about that. I see some podcasters. You a sidewalk. Okay, that's that guy responding to well, you're gonna have some backlash to all of that. So, and that's what get me, like, people be so breaking their neck to be about the streets, man, but in reality there's nothing in the streets. Like, literally. They act like that's glamorous. That is not glamorous. Selling drugs and all this stuff, that's not an easy game, you know. It's really not. It's like getting into a war or something. So people have mixed feelings about that, and their fan bases was based off street music. That's what Boosie was saying. You know, you get on there, you rap all this gangster stuff, but at the same time, man, it got to be a point where you actually grow up in life. And sometimes 21 Savage may feel like he's grown up. Maybe you move past a bit. Look what happened to Lil Durk. He wanted to be about the streets, be about the streets, be about the streets. And look where he at. And it's a big chance he's never coming home. You got to see how I play out in court, but, you know, some point in your life, you had to fucking grow up. That audience you got when you was 20 years old, 21 years old, and all that, they should be grown up. They should probably have grandkids by now. I'm pretty sure Boosie 40-something years old. I don't know how old 21 Savage is. I'm not going to look it up either. So, anyway, I'm trying to find some 21 Savage. The Rolling Stones reported on that. 21 Savages, what happened to the streets? Okay, obviously you got a song out about that. So that this news report came out like a few hours ago. Viral exchange. Something about Young Thug. Let me see what that says. This is from yesterday. So what is Fuck the Streets movement? 21 Savage and Young Thug's viral exchange amidst YSL Rico case sparks debate amongst rapper community. Yeah, 21 Savage and Young Thug's posts are associated with latter beefs with Gunna, who pleaded guilty. So a lot of stuff going on with the Gunna cat too. Young Thug called him a snitch and all of that. So I'm not gonna go into they going back and forth about that stuff between him and Young Thug. Y'all can look that up. I'm sure y'all are pretty familiar with that. But I'm looking for this response. Okay. Call for unity, fuck the streets. Okay, some stuff about what Young Thug was saying. Okay. I don't see no news report. You know, I'll go after credible news sources. So obviously that wasn't a major news. Probably circulating the podcast. You know, a lot of the podcasts, you know, they be having inside tracks on a lot of this stuff. So, but I don't blame them, man. You know, that's my opinion. You know, I don't know what's his particular angle on this. But it's just like me, man. I had to grow up. I had a conversation recently with a family member. And I was telling him, man, hold on, dog. I got a human side of me, dog. You know, he was asking me about back in my days and all of that. I was like, look, man, I made a lot of mistakes, dude. And I felt like I wasted a lot of time in the streets because I ain't getting nothing out of that. And I know a lot of other people who didn't get anything out of that. And it got to a point where I had to grow up, you know. And you run the streets all through your 20s and all of that. Probably catch some cases. Not really building a career. And if you do make it out of there, you 40 years old trying to get something going, you know. A lot of this stuff we doing later on in life, we should have been doing at 17 and 18 and 19 years old. Instead of that, you know, we desensitize and we looking for love in the streets. And a lot of times we just not getting it at home, you know. So I don't know. This could be controversial. I'm not gonna play the record on here. I don't want to get hit with any copyright stuff. Which brings me to this guy. You got this controversial stuff. As a matter of fact, let me go back to that. Let me see what Young Thug, because he's always gonna be walking a thin line. I mean, this guy gonna be on probation like forever. You know. Let me see. Let me go back to Young Thug, because there's been some people talking about some of the artists he had signed, and it started to get wild and buck wild on social media between his artists and some other guys or something, you know. And it's been said that Young Thug was telling, hey, his artists, hey, y'all gonna have to chill out with that, because y'all gonna get me sent back up. Because of y'all activity, they're gonna say I'm the leader and I'm endorsing all of this. Yeah, that's what a RICO is. Even though your little sideline subordinates, they go out there and do all the mess. But if you're the central person, you gonna get the RICO charge. Yeah, that's exactly right. You ain't even gotta be there while they doing all of this stuff. But if you're the leader, you're the boss and all of that, yeah, those guys can get you sent back up. Literally. But let me go back to this Young Thug and see what he's actually saying now that I think about it. And we know they had a viral exchange. Okay, Young Thug responds to 21 Savage's call for unity. So let's see what and you know, people call in Atlanta Ratlanta now. So the conversations after Young Thug posted a brief but loaded message aimed at 21 Savage. You know what? I thought they was buddies. Cause they got a lot of some of those jail conversations was with 21 Savage. Like they seem to be best of friends. The remark followed 21 Savage public push for reconciliation between Thug and Gunna. Well, I think a lot of people pushing for that. That's gonna be a hard thing to pull right there. So yeah, it's gonna be some pushback with Young Thug on that one, because he feels that Gunna is a snitch. He really feels like that. So he really feel like by that guy taking that plea deal, that's what made it look like a RICO. You know, that's just his opinion, though. I look at it like you got these people you bringing around and signing and all of that because it's stated that, or it's said or reported or alleged that Gunna really didn't know his crew like that. So he really didn't come up with Gunna when he was developing these so-called street rules. I can say Young Thug has like a street mentality, and I think a lot of people around him is trying to get him to grow out of that. And they say he just got engaged, and maybe she will be able to do that. So a lot of people think that Young Thug got a lot of power. He has a voice and he has a platform, and he need to stick to that instead of going after Gunna and having some type of manipulation or something that may go along with that. I don't know how to exactly explain that part, but what I'm gathering, what I'm saying, that people trying to get him to actually grow up. When I listened to his conversation, it was all street based. It's like these street beliefs and street rules and all of that. And I'm just here to tell y'all, man, none of that stuff fits in real society. That's like straight up street shit. And they trying to get him to stop thinking so street. Stop thinking so street. And I felt like he should have walked away from that case, me personally, myself. So I didn't think that was a RICO charge. You know, maybe he did a few things here and there, but I didn't think it was a RICO. So that's just my personal thoughts on that. But, you know. But he's not gonna go for that reconciliation with Gunna. And maybe they don't need to be together. Like, why? You know, sometimes you just let people go on their way. You know, it's like we ain't married or nothing like that, and you got to be man enough to actually walk away from stuff. Like, you know, why should they hook back up? You know, obviously Thug don't want to hook back up with that guy. Maybe Gunna want to hook up. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I know people. Even young 21 Savage, even that phone conversation, he was pushing for that reconciliation. You know, so. But it got to be a point where everybody has to grow up. You can't run the streets forever. Well, you shouldn't. It's people that do, though. You got like these career street people. You know, they've been in the streets their whole life, entire life. Which is insane, man. And I think that was one of the best things I ever did was like actually get out of the streets. You know, things slowed up. You know, I had to get a job. I'm living check to check and all of that. That was a hard thing to adjust to when you're used to hustling every day. Everyday hustle, get up. But now you got to go check in. You got to deal with the stuff that goes along with the job and all of that. You know, so tonight we talked politics and hip hop. We talked leaving the streets. We talked about how freedom can be lost with a single sentence. Culture is at its crossroads. Whether artists evolve or get trapped by the past depends on how honest we're willing to be. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like the stream, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading all of them. This is GPTV1 Uncut. No industry filters, no scripted narratives. I'll see you on the next one. Stay sharp, stay informed, stay free.
Came up out the concrete, dust on my sneakers. Dark nights, cold streets, talking to the dreamers. Whispers in the alley say the world don't need us. But I saw a throne in the smoke like Jesus. Heart of a soldier, hands of a